The first epistle of Paul, the apostle to the Corinthians, has 16 chapters, 437 verses, and 9,489 words. The word Corinthians means the ornaments. The first epistle was probably written in Anno Domini 57. Schofield gives Anno Domini 59 as the date of authorship, and there are a variety of other opinions. So although there is no way to settle the date of the writing for certain, you can bet the general time is somewhere between Anno Domini 57 and Anno Domini 59. Corinthians is a sort of practical commentary on Romans. Romans is telling a man how he got saved and explaining the doctrine of salvation to him. Corinthians is the outworking of that salvation in the practical Christian life. The Corinthian church is the carnal church, and it's the church mentioned in Acts chapter 18. It's the church with which Paul was more trouble than any other church to which he writes, and he has more corrective measures written to that church than any other epistle. There is a whole chapter in Corinthians trying to correct an abuse in tongues. There is half a chapter written to correct abuse of the Lord's Supper. There is half a chapter written about haircuts. There is half a chapter written about arguing among yourselves. There is a whole chapter written about immorality in the church. So the Corinthian church as a church is a new church that is filled with spiritual babies. That is where the Pentecostals always are. They are always in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, where the babies are. It's strange how hung up some folks can get on 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and not realize Corinth was the worst church in the New Testament. One of the guys in the congregation was having relations with his father's wife, and nobody was even concerned about it. They were arguing about their gifts. So with the character of this church in mind, let's start studying it during the coming next months with the pure King James Bible words and sound doctrinal matters. Amen.